What's up, Stryke team? Welcome to another episode of Stryke Talk. Today we are going to interview one of my personal favorite fighters, also one of my coaches. I'm lucky enough to say the silky smooth Eddie Abasolo.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
That's good introduction. Good intro.
I gotta let him know. So let's run through some of the accolades of this man. If you guys do not know who he is, if you're someone who doesn't necessarily follow the combat sports world, specifically Muay Thai, this guy right here fights for one championship, which the way I like to describe it is the UFC of Asia, but it's more than just MMA. It also has kickboxing, Muay Thai, grappling. It has the whole plethora of like what martial arts can kind of be. And it's the biggest stage in the world, all the top Muay Thai fighters. And there's not many Americans in it, right? And so when you look at American Muay Thai and what's our current face, like you used to have people like Kevin Ross back in the day, but now kind of the face of Muay Thai is this guy right here. In the United States, this is the dude. And you just fought, you recently fought Sidichai, you've recently fought Luke Leslie. Mm-hmm. And those are, Luke Leslie's the other big name in America. Mm-hmm. Sidichai is one of the biggest names in the world, period.
Yeah.
And both of those are some of the most entertaining fights I have seen on one in a long time. So coming from your experience coming out here, starting out here in America, we're not going to talk about one too much because I feel like that's overdone, but tell us like 2 minute, give us a quick clip about one between those two fights, and then we'll keep going.
As far as a quick like my experience.
Yeah, just your experience within those two.
Oh,
what
okay.
That's like.
Well, first when I fought Sidichai, it was man, I was super excited. Also because, one, it was the first Thai I've ever fought. Let alone it being Sidichai, not just a Thai. Yeah. One of the Thais. It was the first time fighting in Lumpini, and it was just like a whole bunch of things happening that have been lifelong dreams for me in this sport. Lumpini is the mecca, right? So, yeah, it was super dope being in that fight. I got Johnson on in my corner.
Another legend.
Yeah.
Another
along with
legend.
my wife, and I was just out there, man, just having so much fun. And both fights actually with Chef and with Sidichai, they just I felt like they went by just very quickly. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But all in all, man, I just I went out there, I did my thing. I'm proud of everything that I've done. And man, I would like another crack at it, of course, because I took an L on both of those by decision.
I'm gonna be real honest with you. I know you lost those fights, but one thing I will say is if anybody goes on YouTube and looks at those fights, I want you to just go in the comment section. Okay, and I know I listened to you talk about it before. He's very humble. Okay, he's like, it could have gone either way, yada yada yada. Very humble with it. But the comment sections are kind of mad. They don't like the decision sometime with one.
Yeah.
I can say for me specifically, Sidichai, I personally thought you really took that one. Mm-hmm. So, and with Luke, I could understand the flow. I thought you had it. I gave you the first two. I gave him the third, but then I'm like, maybe they see at the end, like that's what's in their head at the end of the fight, whatever. But again, I think both those fights were phenomenal. Both could easily be ran back.
Yeah, for sure. And it would be a promise that if it was ran back, that there would be no question.
Yes.
There would be no question left about it. You know what I mean? I'd have to, and I would dominantly go for the knockout. For sure.
I like that. They were already entertaining, but if you're going in there ready to kill, like really, like I'm about to take this man's head off, I can only imagine that's about to be some firework fights.
Yeah, because I mean, going into it, it's like I'm already in the position to where I feel like I'm not getting no damn decisions. I'm not getting no decisions. Yeah. So there's only one route to go. You know what I mean? No,
I feel you on that. Actually, so I wasn't going to start with one, but you just said you're not getting any decisions. So there's one question. We literally talked beforehand about not going too deep into one, like, because everyone asks these questions about one.
Yeah, it's all
but,
good.
But you touched on something. I've heard people talk about the way one treats Americans in particular. I watched how when they pulled over like Sage and everybody like over from the UFC and brought them over. Demetrius obviously did well, but the way they dropped them in with no warm up, same thing they did to you.
Yeah.
With like some absolute killers, which can be a blessing, right? Because you came out and you showed out.
Yeah.
Right against, but it's like, yo, this man just got here. How about?
Yeah.
How about not like a warm up fight, but like they just give you top 5. Like do they have non-top 5 people when it comes to you? Like which is not a negative, but it's like it almost to me. And then I see all these decisions and how it's coming out. It almost seems to me like, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, but like to show the dominance of one, they like want to beat down Americans. Like that's how I feel.
Man, I can see how you can feel like that. I personally haven't like looked into it that deep.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
But as far as like going to one and because I've heard several people comment on this is like, man, you're just getting thrown to the wolves, and it's like, man, the party already started. As soon as I walk through the door, give me a shot. You know what I mean? Like, I'm ready to party. Like, I don't need no warm up. You know what I mean? I'm here. And I've been here. Yeah. I just got to this party, but I've been here. You know what I mean? And put me in front of whoever, and you know what I mean? Like, what you see is what you get.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I feel you. I mean, you have been active and fighting in the circuits out here for a long time, so it's not like you don't have experience. It's not like you really need. It's not like you came off a layoff or something like that. So I kind of see you can hop in there with the best of the best. Yeah. But it always seems interesting when I see how they treat different fighters from different areas. I do recognize a difference, I think, between Asian fighters, specifically Thais, even Japanese, or people from Singapore compared to what I see from more of the West side, and how it seems to go. And so that was just something I was wondering.
That's funny because now that I think about it, way before our time, it's been like that. You know, Kevin Ross, I remember he told me a few times, you know, when he was coming up, the way his not just his name, the Soul Assassin, but like him as a fighter, he was brought in a lot of times to lose. And he ended up winning those fights, and those were the fights that, you know, like made him known.
The
you
legend.
Know what I mean? Yeah, so it's like, man, put me in that situation. Yeah. Like, bring me in to lose. Like, I feel like this is what it's supposed to be like, you know? If I'm supposed to win, or it's like, man.
Then it's not the same.
Yeah.
But if you win the fight you're supposed to lose, it's like, I told y'all.
Yeah,
you know? It's like, I told y'all.
Yeah.
And end of the day, like, the way you approached and the way you showed out in those fights, people can't look at you. Because I feel like specifically, like, I remember before Sidichai, people would be like, who is this dude?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
hey, I was supposed to get smoked. I was supposed to get ran through, you know, with Sidichai.
Yeah.
And, like, with, not just with Sidichai, but with my recent loss and a lot of my losses throughout my career, which isn't many, is even when my hand didn't get raised, the crowd knows, the people know, and the person that I fought that night knows who won the fight. Not who won the decision, but who won the fight. So that's why I can, you know.
Be happy and confident at the end.
I'm good with it, you know, because when I look eye to eye with whoever I was in the ring with that night, we both know who won the fight. And, you know, again, I don't need to say, I won that, I won. The people will tell you.
Yeah,
the people will tell you.
The comment section gets real
loud.
Yeah. I understand. I understand. Give me 1 second. Let me double check. I like to. Yeah. All right.
Win the heart of the crowd.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, you definitely did that. The crowds, your stock has risen substantially. But now that we kind of gone over that, let's take a step back. Let's go to the beginning of it all. I've started looking at, like, I've looked at your history. I've read your bio. You know, we're friends. I've known you for quite a while.
Yeah.
And it's interesting though, when I look at online, I see the history of like your career and whatnot. I get a lot of, and this is normal, when you start taking off, that's when everyone starts talking about you.
Yeah.
But there's not much on the beginning. Like, I know you start off, and again, a lot of people who follow my channel are karate people. You're fourth dan in Kaju Kimbo, fourth degree? Yeah. So you did Kaju Kimbo for a while. And before you started, we're going to have to cover it because, I got all the karate people on here.
Nah, for sure.
And so Kaju Kimbo is it's a martial arts style, I believe it was created in Hawaii. Stands for karate, judo, Kempo, and boxing, Kaju Kimbo.
Yeah.
And you did that, and then you ended up coming into this full contact arena. What was your introduction into that kind of martial arts style as a kid that led you to become... Oh, we got a guest. Hold on, we got a guest.
Hey,
what's up?
Did I freak you out?
Nah, you're good. You're good. What was that led you to become like who you are now? What was the entry into the martial arts in general?
Well, first off, the only reason why I laugh when you bring it up is because I remember like just recently it was put out there that I was getting promoted, and then you was like, "Motherfucker, I didn't know this whole motherfucking time."
Yeah. I had no idea he had done any kind of karate-ish martial art at all. Yeah.
But when I was a kid, my dad was in it. He was a black belt. He was one of the fighters, one of the fighters, one of the competitors for the team.
Okay.
And
so your dad fought.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it comes in the blood. You got. Oh, all right.
The stories he tells me and my uncles when they showed up to any tournament in the area, like everyone knew. Like that's what he told me.
Okay. Listen, everybody's dad.
Everyone knew.
Listen.
Yeah.
Listen though. I believe it because you came out and now you're doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Hold on. Wait. So were they doing full contact? Were they doing point stuff? Like what kind of?
It was like points.
Okay.
With I don't know how hard the contact was. I know it was pretty hard. There was just no knockouts allowed.
Okay. So it could have been.
So they were hitting each other and stuff like that, and then there was no knockouts.
Okay. So that could be anything from like PKB-ish to like point sparring, like MVP.
Yeah, but
type.
like early '90s PKB-ish, not like
now.
now.
Not like now.
Like,
yeah.
It's like
it's a different story.
Yeah.
That was back when they didn't care so much about safety as much. Yeah. People were kind of going. I understand. I've heard stories. I wasn't there, but I heard the stories. Okay.
Yeah.
So your dad came up, so your family and your uncles. So you come from a family of like heavy martial artists.
Yeah.
And so they tossed you into the Kaju Kimbo.
Yeah, I was taking the classes.
Okay.
I never fought or competed when I was a kid, but I was in that at 5 years old.
Okay.
Trained till I was about maybe 8. Got into Little League and just was heavy into baseball all the way up into high school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So athletic the whole time. Mm-hmm. Baseball, good hand-eye coordination and whatnot coming through. Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting too. I don't know if you know this. My first ever martial art was One Hop Kundo, which is an offshoot of Kaju Kimbo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's so Aldo Cascos, who's a Kaju Kimbo guy, created it. And that's where I started. I only made it to like blue belt. I was a little kid, I thought I knew something.
Yeah,
I was like, I got my blue belt on.
Yeah.
I was out here. I thought I was good. But it's also interesting because I know within Kaju Kimbo, there's many different varieties of like ways in which people teach it. You have some Kaju Kimbo people who are all about the forms and they're more flowy. Mm-hmm. You have some that are point sparring. You have some that are like, let's go in the backyard and beat the crap out of each other.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm assuming you were more toward the beat the crap out of each other or the point style where you were
probably
training
in between there.
In between there?
Yeah.
Okay. Where I was at was a bit more of they were a bit more form focused, at least with the kids class. I never made it into the adult stuff. Quick reminder to please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, especially if you are enjoying what we are talking about here. I'm going to do a lot more interviews with other martial artists, both fighters and more traditional martial artists, as well as just a bunch of martial art history and other stuff we do here on this channel. And if you enjoy martial arts in any way, shape, or form, I'm sure we'll have something here for you. So please subscribe. And back to the interview. Adult stuff. But okay. So started off there. Moved up into baseball.
Yeah.
And then when did you get back into did you go back into Kacho Kimbo? Did you go into Muay Thai after that?
I just went into Muay Thai afterwards. Well, first I joined a boxing gym in Vallejo, Pal's Boxing.
Okay.
I was there for a couple months.
Okay.
And then, I'm glad I experienced that before I experienced anything else, because when I went to that boxing gym, it was just you sign up. First day, they walk you through. Here's the ropes. You speed bag. Ropes, speed bag. Here's the weights. Here's the mirror. You come in. You run around this building 3 times.
Okay.
You jump rope. You shadow box. You hit the speed bag. Then you go in there. You do the heavy bag. It's like, all right, cool. And the coach we didn't have the coach's attention. He had a pro that he was always working on. No one had his attention. You just get in there, do your work.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's crazy. So it's like, if you really wanted it,
You had to get it yourself.
yeah, you had to get it yourself and watch as they're hitting mitts. Okay, I'm gonna try that on the bag, or you know what I mean,
Okay.
shit like that. So, yeah.
That would piss me off. I'm just being real.
Yeah. Well, I was just happy to have just to be in a boxing gym and just be around it.
Yeah.
You know? And I was there with my boys too, my friends from high school. So I wasn't by myself. And then shortly after that, got into music. Did that for a couple years, and then did
You did
Muay
music too? Hold on,
Yeah.
we have a couple things we have to cover. We're gonna have to cover that too. I didn't know. Okay. So first, let me bring up one thing about your style, and we'll go a bit deeper into it later. But I just want to touch on it because I think I want to know if it connects to the boxing gym. You are pretty much self-teaching yourself at the boxing gym, is what it sounds like almost.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's can be very helpful in the advanced stages, but you still seem like you were not in the big advanced stages yet, and you were forced to teach yourself how to box and how to move. And now your style, for those who don't know, Eddie has an extremely unique style of fighting. It's one of the reasons I was so focused on trying to get you on here, is because your style of fighting, I'll be honest, bro, it looks like you're doing extremely practical kung fu most of the time. I feel like if it was years ago where people were still really trying to put their own name on martial arts, I don't even know if it'd be Muay Thai anymore. You're doing Eddie Fu. This is Eddie Fu, and it happens to work well in Muay Thai rings, but this is Eddie Fu.
Yeah.
And it seems very, and we talked a little off screen, it seems very creative from you. It comes out of who you are.
Yeah.
And I wonder if being self-taught or having to teach yourself stuff in that boxing room from the beginning kind of created an environment where you're used to creating your own stuff for yourself.
Yeah, I would say it contributed to that. Many other things contributed to it, right? How hard my dad was on me. He instilled very early that if you want something, you got to work for it. And once you get it, it's not you don't just have it. You got to work extra hard to maintain it. And then the game is constantly evolving, so you need to know how to adjust and, you know what I mean, change with the game and just do what works.
Okay.
So whatever I did, I tried to
keep that mentality.
Yeah. Whether I wrestled, whether I played baseball, football, everything I did.
So you baseball, football, wrestling, and music.
Yeah.
I'm learning a lot of new things right now. All right, so one of the questions I had is the motivation. Now I see a lot of it's coming from your family. You have a very strong father figure pushing you to with those rent is due every day type mentality and have you moving and going forward. Did you compete at all at that boxing gym when you were there?
Nah.
No?
Nah. I don't even think I sparred.
Oh,
I didn't spar with no one. I got to hit mitts one time.
That's crazy.
And I feel like that's what it was. I'm in there and I'm really trying to get this, you know what I mean? And it's for him to just hey, come here. I was like, oh shit, okay, cool,
Okay, he saw, oh, this kid's really trying to put in the work. Let me pull him over a little bit. Okay.
Yeah. I was just, whatever I'm trying to do, I'm just trying to feel the most efficient way to do it. It's funny that you say old school kung fu, because I grew up with a lot of that, Bruce Lee, all that stuff, you know what I mean? But a lot of stuff that, like when it comes to just blocking and, you know, anytime something is being worked with the arms, it feels like Wing Chun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know what Wing Chun is, but when I watch it, I feel like this is what it feels like.
No,
you know what I mean?
yeah, no. One thing I again noticed from training with you, and we have a guy here who also does some Wing Chun at the gym. You pull in a lot of trapping that comes out of the Wing Chun stuff. You pull in a lot of movements that I actually see in like more soft styles too, like maybe not Tai Chi-ish, but like almost a. Oh, I'm spacing on the name of the style. My friend does it, but it's like a very flowy style in which you move, but you like are able to move flowy, and then crash on like you like crash like a wave on people, and I'm like, that's some Kung Fu-ish right there. Like that's okay. So I can see because it again like I feel like you almost self-discovered it from how we talked before, and we'll go a bit into that later. But I mean. You come from boxing. I don't want to lose out on all this other cool stuff I just found out. Like you're hyper athletic as a kid is what I'm figuring out right now. So baseball, football, American football?
Yeah.
Okay. And then when did you play football? High school?
High school.
Oh, okay. And then wrestling in high school also?
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
And wrestling's a phenomenal base. I can see the grit and everything necessary for fighting. That's my personal biggest regret is that there was no wrestling team. And to be honest, I wouldn't have done it in high school. So like now I would have been mad. Like looking back, like I wish I had that wrestling kind of background.
Yeah, wrestling changed my life. Like there's no sport like it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You're putting yourself through this, the worst, and still able to keep going. You know what I mean? In the wrestling room, it's like, our room was super small, super crowded in high school, but as soon as you get in there, all right, everyone start running around the mat.
Okay.
All right, shoot shots around the mat. Just same thing over and over and over. 100 sit-outs, 100 sprawls, 100 this and that. And it's just like, man, I don't know how I'm going to how I can do all this, Then go outside, start carrying your partner, do a couple laps, you guys rotate. It's just shit like that, and you literally feel like, I've never been in boot camp, but I can only imagine, like boot camp to where it's like, I can't quit. Like I'm not quitting or else I'm off the team or else I can't do this. Or else all my friends are going to make fun of me on the team, you know what I mean?
And you don't want it, that's worse than like anything else. So your friends like, you quit, you a sucker, you don't want that.
Yeah. So, those things really helped me out.
And so that developing the grit, we've talked before, like, for me personally, like coming out in the fight, I'm not a natural fighter. I had to fight because I felt like I was weak. And so I feel like for me, wrestling is that thing that like would have helped me overcome my obstacles so much faster. I think it's a phenomenal foundation. And so, you did all these sports, martial arts from a young age, started at 5, and you did music also.
Yeah.
Tell us about that, because I don't think anybody ever asked you about the music, man. I never heard about this.
The music time was a fun time. It was inside the hyphy movement. Like it was in that era. So man, me and my friends, we used to make beats, sell beats, write verses, sell verses, stuff like that, and just be out performing shows, or I'm at my buddy's show, or man,
y'all out doing shows right now?
It was
That's
tight,
crazy,
man.
bro.
Out in San Francisco, man, that shit was hella fun.
That's wild.
But yeah, I would just be geeking out. Like even when I got with B, I was still into the music. You know what I mean? And that was right before I found Muay Thai. But I'd be up all night, just on the computer, making 2 or 3 beats at a time, and then. Like when I'd get stuck on one, then I'd switch to the next one. Sometimes I'd finish it, sometimes I wouldn't finish it. I'd get up, and then I'd hop back on, and like I'd feel refreshed. Like okay, I could feel this beat a little bit more, know what it needs, or whatnot. I just had hella beats, man.
That's crazy. You're out here.
Yeah, that shit was fun.
That's wild. I had no idea you were. I mean, I see you out. I know you're musical, but like to me, it's like. A lot of what you do is with rhythm.
Yeah.
And a lot of, even in class, you play some music. It's like get on the beat. You be hitting it with the salsa step,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I'm like okay, and I'm like I can see the music,
Yeah.
but I didn't know it was like that.
That's how I could me personally, I could translate it so much to fighting. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And the way we move, the way I'm moving, the way my opponent's moving, the way we're both moving in relevance to where we are in the ring.
Yeah.
You know, like I see kicks, I see claps, I see hi-hats, I see snares. You know, when we're moving.
Yeah.
You know, and these are things that help my timing. You know, because everyone moves their own natural way.
Yeah.
So everyone has their own rhythm. So everyone is just their own song, basically. You know, and we can listen to a song that we've never heard, me and you right now, and after like 20 bars, I know how to nod my head to it, I know how to at least tap my toe to it, you know, whether we like the music or not. Like we'll just naturally catch the rhythm. And apply that to someone, it's just like, all right, after maybe 20 seconds of moving around with this person, I at least know how to nod my head to him. I at least know how to tap my toe to him. You know what I mean? Then it all just kind of like comes together. Then you're just breaking his song, breaking his rhythm, trying to scratch.
You know, that makes a lot of sense. That's crazy. So you're like looking at people like their music almost.
Yeah.
One thing I was talking to a friend of mine, she was talking about how she was having trouble with boxing rhythm. And one thing I said was like, go learn to dance. Because I'm like, like fighting is like dancing, but the difference is instead of making your partner look good, you're trying to make your partner look bad.
Yeah.
And so it's like, it's interesting because you're like your musicality and your athleticism mixed together gives you this whole different way of kind of viewing.
Yeah.
And that was a great way of like how you explained it. That was beautiful. So yeah, I mean, wow, I really had no idea you had even done. That's crazy. People don't even be knowing that. Okay. We're gonna drop the beats down below.
Yeah.
Find Eddie's old rap music. Find links. Put it on YouTube. Nah. Can we find any of your old stuff online? Actually, I gotta know.
Nah.
Damn.
'Cause I wasn't savvy.
Back then with everything.
I was just on MySpace. That's the only time I was on the computer.
All right. The old MySpace days. He said it was on MySpace. All right then. Don't let him. All right then. The MySpace days. Man. Damn, I had MySpace for a second too.
Yeah.
For like a short second. I don't
Yeah.
even really remember. Yeah. Okay.
That's how old that shit is.
Oh man. All right. So yeah. So and then you said actually two things. So I mentioned as you talk about this, I'm getting a vibe of everything you're doing, especially after how you explained how you approach music, that you approach things with a seriously high level of dedication, especially after you spoke about how your dad says once you get to the top, you got to stay there.
Yeah.
And I thought that maybe like you found Muay Thai and you fell in love and so you were addicted, but it sounds to me almost that you have the kind of personality that like, I like music. And you said you went to bed, woke up, like you're taking it on full break.
Yeah.
Is that just like your personality style with everything?
I think so, because anything like, again, baseball,
Okay.
wrestling, basketball, these are just music, fighting. These are just things that when I think about through the times of my life, when I was addicted or dedicated to one of these things, like before I went to sleep and when I woke up, like, and from when I woke up till I went to bed, you know, it was just on my mind all the time.
Non-stop.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I feel like that's why I can relate to everything, because when it was basketball, man, everything around me relates to basketball. When it was baseball, oh man, everything around me relates to baseball, you know. Music, man, everything is everything is related to music. Everything has a rhythm.
Okay.
Traffic, you know, the most silliest things, everything has a rhythm. And it's just like, you just get to a point to where everything is everything, you know. It just depends on what you're into.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So
it's like when you have a crush.
Everything.
I see you, man. I see
you in everything.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah.
Everything. You know.
Yeah.
Everything reminds me of this person. Like all that stuff. It's the same thing.
I get you. No, it's interesting because again, something else that I always thought through knowing you a bit and hearing how you speak on things in classes and how you do often try to relate things, and almost how you speak at things almost in a philosophical way. And even in this interview so far, you've mentioned certain things, you've said things in a way that are they're highly philosophical. And I don't know, I mean, I'm sure you know, because I'm sure other people have commented on it, but like, for example, one of the most common and old martial arts sayings, like, once you find the way in all things.
Yeah,
and like that's
makes sense.
It's how you like. I see everything in baseball. I see everything in
Yeah.
And it's like once you find the path to mastery, mastery's the same but different. But like the same but different as we said. In all things.
Yeah.
And again, finding that way in which you can dedicate and lead to music and wrestling and baseball and everything, I see maybe it's now moving to your Muay Thai career and the way in which you speak and express. I'll talk more about this later, but I always thought you should write a book because I feel like the way in which you express your opinions, like even the way you just expressed it right there, are martial art philosophies that you can then turn around and put that, like you said, on everything.
Yeah.
And those are, at least for me, I'm a martial art nerd. Like that's like I'm nerdy with it.
Yeah.
So like to me it's like if you give me a martial arts saying, it's easy for me to take it from martial arts and put it on a normal job.
Yeah.
But it's not always easy for me to like, people got to find what connects with them. And you say it in such a way where I feel like a lot of what you say about martial arts is very easy to then take and put into the rest of your life. And so I always thought you should write a book, but that's literally not.
Well, I was in the process. And I started a long time ago. Like anyone who I've ever crossed paths with in this journey, trainers from Thailand, some trainers that I look up to, that I've all trained with, and I've gotten personal quotes from them, things that just stuck to me, stuff like that. When I went to Thailand, my experiences, just everything, whenever something would come to mind, I would just write it down, even if I didn't go back and reevaluate it. Everything went into that. Yep. And then a year ago, my car got broken into in Vallejo, and the book was in there. And on the side of it, it was called The Dragon Scroll. That was man. All that stuff was gone. I started a new one, but
I'm gonna tell you right now, it's gonna end up published in a year. You're gonna be mad as hell. It's like, who took my scroll, published it without me?
It had diagrams, it had drills, it had all things that I was able to put on paper that like I can see. You know what I mean? When I'm looking at the ring, or when I'm looking at someone, or which direction to move or whatnot. Just little stuff, man.
Bro, that's wild, bro.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I feel like a book you would write would be so influential in a way where, like, you approach things philosophically. You created a style that is uniquely your own. Again, if you guys don't know Eddie, I would encourage you to look at some of his stuff to really understand that, like, how he moves is not traditionally how Muay Thai people move. And you created your whole, like, the way you look at things. I'm gonna just sound like I'm sucking up right now. So I'm literally in my head, I'm trying to find a way to rephrase it so it doesn't sound like I'm sucking up so hard. I'm really not trying to. But it comes off Bruce Lee-ish.
Yeah.
Because he's also a philosopher. That's what I'm just saying. It's a martial artist who's a philosopher. But you actually are in the ring doing it, right? Yeah. So it's like, and you see how people kind of view what his thought process like. But a lot of it is because of the way he puts his words together. It's like Bruce Lee was an amazing martial artist, didn't fight, but amazing martial artist. And the way he was able to take his stuff and express it to the world has influenced many great fighters and many great martial artists and increased the way people look at martial arts to the world. And I'm like, you're not in the movies, but you have a lot of quotes that you just drop on accident, I feel like, that are of equivalent depth.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm just like, get that
Possibly.
on paper. Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah.
A lot of the most philosophical things are like the simplest things that just go right under our noses without us even realizing it, So.
Yeah. No, that's that. I understand. It's like simple stuff. Simple stuff is often also like the most deep. It's just like, now that we're on the spot, it's hard to think of some super simple stuff. But like just really simple things. Like, The music thing, like saying that everybody has their own rhythm, that's something you just throw out there.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like that covers so like the way so many people act in so many different situations can be connected to a rhythm.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you're talking somebody musical hears that, it could really change the way they view their whole life.
Yeah.
And so
Every time.
I think that's a dope one. But okay, so let's go high school wrestling, football, baseball. You found Muay Thai. How old were you? How'd that happen?
I think it was 20.
Okay.
Yeah. 20 or 21 when I found Muay Thai. I didn't know what Muay Thai was.
Oh,
right?
okay.
I can't tell my start without telling this part of the story, that when I got with Bernadette, her brother loved Muay Thai by that point. You know what I mean? He had a bag in his room, and like he would watch fights, and he would train, and by himself. So he was just a natural by the time we got into Muay Thai.
Bernadette is his wife. I don't know if he said that. I also recognize because we know each other, we might miss certain, we might be saying things that like we have context to and they don't. So I just want to clarify.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Bernadette's my wife, Elvin is her brother, and he used to sit here and draw Muay Thai. He used to watch Muay Thai. He used to hit the bag. I used to sit there and watch fights with him, and he would tell me about the fights, like what's going on in the fights, how to watch fights.
Okay.
Which I feel like was a very detrimental part to my journey, and like how fast I excelled.
Okay.
Because a lot of us, we don't watch fights and we don't know how to watch fights.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Unless we do it.
Yeah,
Unless we do it.
Not detrimental, you mean beneficial.
Yeah, so I just feel...
Yeah.
Oh, did I say detrimental?
Yeah, you did.
Oh, okay. Beneficial.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was just crazy that we was into that, and then I would never expect a Muay Thai gym. I didn't know nothing about Muay Thai. I would never expect a gym or like that to be even close to us. I ran into one of my boys at 24 Hour Fitness, and what you been up to? What you been up to? I'm training Muay Thai, and I was like, what? Where? And then he gave me the address, and then I went home, told my brother-in-law. We both checked it out, and then we weren't consistent. It wasn't like we were hooked immediately, because we were on and off.
Okay.
And we would show up to training in the beginning drunk and high, and you know what I mean?
Okay.
Without a care, because we didn't take it nowhere serious, you know what I mean? And then it was just like we started taking things more serious, seeing how good the guys were there, and wanted
Is
to
this
get...
Warriors?
Yeah, this was Warriors.
Okay.
And then, yeah, man, everything just kind of like snowballed from there.
Okay, so you started off, I happen to know, again, I have more context than the people watching, so I already knew the name of the gym was Warriors. And so that's actually interesting because this whole time I was under the impression that you had met your wife through Muay Thai, but apparently not.
Nah.
Oh, okay.
And when we first got together, when I first started Muay Thai, it was the same thing that everyone goes through. You're training too much, you're at the gym too much, how come you're not at home, this and that. We would argue a lot. We had plenty of arguments, heated arguments. Some arguments I didn't even know if I was going to be able to come home after, type arguments. But then it's funny, she's always been really down with everything that I do. When it came to music, she helped me get the mic, the keyboard, the program, the computer, everything.
Got you.
And then when it just started to transfer into Muay Thai, I invited her one time, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We argued so much, I was like, man, just come to the gym, just come, see where I'm at. And then she ended up falling in love with it too.
Yeah, I think that's why I assumed it was from here because we've moved around. It's not like the girl don't know what she can fight. So in my head, I thought she had been fighting before, already kind of knew because she can fight too.
Yeah.
Doesn't she have fights also?
Yeah, she has fights. She stopped fighting after she tore her ACL in one of them. But, bro, she is the hardest girl that I know. Like,
Okay.
she would her brother would beat the shit out of her. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So that when she's in the fight, she ain't scared. Not beat the shit out of you, like just like, you know what I mean?
but like in training, beat the shit out
he's
of
hitting her
Got you.
the same way
He hits
me and him spar.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
Oh,
if
so
he can.
Okay.
So she's blocking. She's, you know what I mean? She's checking strong. She's doing all that shit. And they're brother and sister, so I can't say shit.
Yeah,
you know
it's
what I
like,
mean?
yeah, it's the one person, like, all right.
Yeah. Shit, but it worked, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
See, like, she don't care.
She'll go in there and swing.
Yeah.
Okay. That's crazy. So y'all really discovered it around the same time coming up.
Yeah.
All right. And then you, as you said, you didn't start off falling in love, but you fell in love with it over time. At what point did you start taking it more seriously? And like, what was there a trigger that was like, this is it now, or did it just like happen naturally? Or was it something you saw?
I would just have to say one experience that I feel like was a trigger was, I guess I didn't take it seriously from, no, I'm gonna say I know I didn't take it seriously from my first fight, right?
Oh, okay.
After training Muay Thai.
Okay.
Because it was a small gym we was at, and I came out cocky.
Okay.
Dancing, you know what I mean? I ain't
Yeah.
had nothing to show for it, whatever, you know what I mean? I have no business acting like this, you know? And then I come out, invited all my friends, all my family, 20 seconds, it was over. I got dropped and stopped, you know what I mean? It was over.
Okay.
And then it was probably the most embarrassing experience that I had, and I did it to myself, you know? So I was like, all right, I ain't inviting no one to nothing.
Okay.
You know, I'm not telling no one what the fuck I'm doing. And this shit ain't never gonna happen again, you know? So I just started training, and then, man, it just...
So it's more like somebody got you, and you're natural. It seems like you got that natural competitive spirit. You're like, not happening ever again, ever. It got you. You're like, let's get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you know, I didn't care about who was watching anymore. I didn't care about if anyone knew what I was doing anymore.
Okay.
You know, but before that, it was like, hey, you know, I got a fight coming up. Come check me out. You know, I'm a fighter. You know.
It was more ego-driven in the beginning. Ego as in, like, let me show off. And then toward the end, it was like, I got to get that back.
Yeah, it was like, oh, hell no.
All right.
It was like, oh, hell no. You know.
Yeah, never again.
Never again. I don't care who's watching. I don't care if anyone knows. You know, I'm going to just get hella good and pound the pavement every day. You know, that was it. You know?
And so you went from off and on to, like, as you say, you were consistent. How consistent? Like, were you there 2 hours a day, 3 hours a day? What was it looking like?
I was there all day.
All day?
If I could be.
Okay.
If I could
Okay.
be. For several hours, you know, for a few years, I remember my schedule was, I would go to work at 10 p.m. I'd get home at 7.
Okay.
Sometimes I would just stay up, go to the gym, train, because by then it would be, by the time I'm getting done and getting ready, it'd probably be like 9, 10.
Okay.
You know, there's people at the gym. Go, train, do what I can. 3 to 5 hours, whatever,
Okay.
you know.
Okay.
There was times where I would get sleep when I get off, and then as soon as I get up, we're to the gym until I got to go home, get ready for work, you know.
Okay. So,
It was just
work, gym, sleep.
Yeah, work, gym, sleep, work, gym, sleep.
That's all right. So just very dedicated. It became your whole life.
Yeah, that's all I really cared about, you know.
Okay.
So that's all that really mattered. And as long as I was doing those things, I was happy, you know.
Did you know at this time, like after that first fight and I lost, and like I'm getting that back, did you know, because you're putting all this time and effort into it,
Yeah.
did you know that you were going to try and be who you are today at that time? Or was it just like, I'm putting this all in because I don't want to lose again? Like,
I guess I wasn't thinking ahead, but at the same time, I was like, this is what I'm doing.
okay.
You know what I mean? Not thinking like, man, I'm going to be the best in the world. It's just like, man, I'm going to be the best in my area first.
Okay.
That's what it was. I couldn't even fathom the world at that time, you know, because I was like, I'm just be the best in my area.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
best in my city.
Okay.
And then best in my, my county. And then the best in my state. Like, that's what I was.
You started small and growing.
Yeah, as I started, like, accomplishing more and more, I started getting more confident that I could accomplish more and more.
Got you.
You know what I mean?
Got you.
So it's just like, all right, cool. The state, the country, and possibly the world, you know?
Crazy. You started in a good spot, too, because becoming the best in a place like California is such a fight-heavy state compared to a lot of, like, there are other big fight, like you got New York and Florida, you got other ones, but, like, there's a lot of fighters in California, so working your way up here alone is, like, one of the best places in which to do it. And then you come out, obviously you get a couple fights under your belt, you start becoming the dude. When did that happen? When did it go from, I'm just a guy on the circuit, to, like, you started getting recognition, like, oh, this might be, like, one of them dudes, like, this might be one of the guys coming up and really being something?
What was the first part of that question?
When did the change happen from just being like a...
One more time, quick reminder to subscribe, notification bell, all that kind of stuff. If you've gotten this far into this podcast, into this interview, I know you're enjoying it, okay? So you might as well subscribe. Otherwise, like, you're going to miss the next one, and that's just bad on you. So remember, like, subscribe, notification bell. All right, back to the interview.
When did the change happen from just being like another fighter to being somebody that people were like, oh, he might be something big one day?
For me?
Actually, yeah, I meant for other people, but for you is another.
Because I can't say when for other people. You know what I mean?
Good
Because
point,
it would be like some would be further than others.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's fair.
But for me, it was funny because I was a bit cocky, a bit delusional, but I guess I guess you need that when you're coming up. You need to have that belief so strong that it's just like, I'm the man.
Yeah.
You know, this is me. Like, y'all know what it is when I walk in the door. You know, y'all know what it is. That's all I gotta say. Y'all know what it is. You know,
So actually, that's another really important question. This is actually something I was gonna have an interview with an old friend of mine who's a martial art teacher, because there's something that personally, I think I came in on the wrong side of this equation, but something I think you've mastered really well. In martial arts, we often talk about, like, the especially in the traditionalist side, we talk about the moral, or like the life lessons you're supposed to learn. Like, you come and talk about honor, respect, discipline, all this stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And one thing that's always spoken about, and I think it was a detriment to me because I started off on the wrong end of the spectrum. We often talk about how humility is, like, a big part of, like, the martial art mindset. And I always made a big mistake growing up, thinking humility and almost confusing it with self-doubt and meekness. And one thing I can say about you is by the time I met you, you were already super well known, one of the top fighters, right, in America. But I've also met people who are top. I've met fighters who, like, you can feel their ego. Mm-hmm. I think you introduced yourself to me the first time I met you. Not me going and introducing myself to you. Like, which doesn't seem like a big thing. Like, we're human beings, but, like, you'd be surprised how many top fighters, they should come to me type mentality. And you seem like you're always going up. You're always extremely friendly with everybody. And you seem to have a really, when you're not fighting, you come off as really chill. Like, when you're not in the ring, the humility seems to be like a really chill, like, part of your personality and whatnot. And some people too, it's like some fighters just, like, again, it all depends on personality. There are some people who I'm like, fighting stops you from going to jail. Like, I'm like, you have a cage beast and it's always there. You just come off as nice most of the time. How do you balance the humility with the ego? Like, how does that work for you?
Just For me, and I feel like for everyone, it is just a constant battle. I wouldn't say a battle, you know, because there's too much intense emotion behind the term battle. Maybe just a juggle, you know what I mean? Staying on balance, you know. I'm just like that for a number of reasons, man. One, it's like, as a fighter, we're not like painters or singers or chefs or, you know, something that we can do all the way to old age, you know. It's a short life, a fighter's passion, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like, when that is over, then what? You know, and then the next hot thing is around, or, you know, I mean, if this is everything that I feel like I am, you know, it's, one, it's going to be gone, and two, people aren't really going to remember what you did or how dope you were or this and that. They're just going to remember how you made them feel. You know what I mean? Whether, like, they're just going to remember if it was a good feeling or a bad feeling.
Yeah.
You know? You ever meet someone that you're like, man, I knew that person back in when we was younger, and I don't know where I know him from, but he was hella cool.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
Or
yeah.
the complete opposite, man. I know that person, but like it wasn't cool. I'm gonna keep my distance. I don't know where I remember that person from.
Yeah,
you know, whatever it is.
I get you. Yeah.
You get that feeling, you know.
Yeah.
And like, that's what it is. It's just me understanding that, you know, people gonna remember how you make them feel. And when I run into other people, I just always wanted to be, oh man, that person was cool. He made me feel good. You know what I mean?
Got you.
And it's not how, it's easy to be humble when we're at the bottom, but then it's really how you treat people when you're at your highest. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's when it matters. It's easy.
Yeah.
It's easy to be like, when you ain't nothing, it's easy to like keep it low. Yeah.
But then when you got everything and you don't feel like you have to, or you know what I mean, it's just like, then what? You know, who are you really? Because if you don't have to be, you know, just acknowledging this person, you know what I mean? That's all it is, acknowledgement. If you don't have to, will you? You know?
Got you.
But yeah, man, I feel like that's it. And the thing is, when I fight, that's why I love fighting. That's why this chill guy loves fighting. It's because when I'm in there, that's the only time I don't have to be humble.
To be like that. Got you.
You know what I mean?
Got you. Yeah. It's time to let it out.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay. Yeah, because that's always something, I guess, for me, something I've always wanted to, like, talk to fighters about is, like, their mindset going in there and, like, how they mentally connect up with their life. Just because, to me personally, it's what I've always kind of struggled with. I've, like, you know me. If you didn't know I did martial arts, you probably would not assume I did any kind of fight sports, because I'm, like, goofy most of the time. And so...
I could tell.
You could tell?
I could tell. I just, when I see someone, I could tell.
Okay.
And what martial arts has taught me, watch out for the goofy ones. You know what I mean? The people that you least expect are the ones that are probably the most dangerous in the room.
That's
you know?
fair.
So it's like, that too, it's like I'm never pressed or intimidated by anyone's ego, you know what I mean? Because it's like, respect. I respect everyone as if they know something, but I also know that I know something. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I like that. And actually, as you say that, it makes me think about somebody we both know. I have a friend, his name's Aber, he used to fight. Aber was a very good fighter. He's retired now. But Aber is the most... not stereotypical.
Yeah.
Aber will walk around with a Hello Kitty backpack on when I knew him. And just like, be like, hi guys! But like when he's fight, I remember he knocked a guy's front teeth out with like a spinning elbow or something.
Yeah.
So it's like, I guess it's true. You really don't know walking down the street whether or not somebody knows anything. So it's always
Yeah.
good to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say, as nice as you are, I can't tell you fight. You look like you know something. I'm not gonna like. You look like you might. That might be the wrong person to punk on the street corner. But yeah, no. All right, so as you know, as we're talking, let's talk about the creation of your style. And I'm sure other people have asked this question before because it is so uniquely you. And I remember I read once on some online martial art blog post or whatever, they're like, Eddie is the only Matrix style fighter in the United States. That's what they call you, like a Matrix style. You think like Sanchai, you think Anderson Silva type. You go in, you start flowing, and next thing you know, you just sweep somebody. Like you do some cool stuff. Like it's like, and you make it all look very effortless. And so my question is, not so much, my question is how did you begin developing that? Because a style like that is so different from normal Muay Thai thought process and even normal boxing thought process that, and your version in particular is so unique to you. Like you look at Sanchai, like Sanchai at least had an instructor who was also kind of all over who was also kind of different in the way he fought, right? Yeah. And so you can kind of see like Sunshine maybe had somebody mentoring, pushing that through with him. But when I see your style and I see the people you came up with, they're people, good fighters, but no one fights the way you fight.
Yeah.
And so it makes me really think it was a self-created thing. And again, like I mentioned before, it brings to light in my mind people who used to be the ones who like make these martial arts styles. Like if this was 200, 300 years ago, it'd be Eddie Fu, not Muay Thai. So it's like, how do you go across that process of like the creation of something that is so taken from something, but also so different? Let me also double check because I'd always be worried the battery's gonna go out. All right, continue.
For sure. I would say created, but also more so inspired. You know what I mean? There was things that I was naturally capable of doing, like naturally capable of seeing in exchanges. And it's funny because I feel like it was an X-Men power, the way I like to look at it. Because when it first started happening, I was just dodging things by accident.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
It was just a very intense, like, flinch response. I would get out the way, you know, but I wasn't controlling which direction I'm going.
You're just going, okay.
You know what I'm saying? And then once I started just trying to keep my eyes open and then control my flinch response, you know, it became something that I can utilize and as evasiveness or being able to counter, stuff like that.
You said that to me once because I had asked you about, I start flinching, and you said to me, weaponize it. Or something like that. You were like, use it. Like,
you gotta learn how to control it.
Yeah.
Like, that's just something that's naturally happening.
Yeah.
And if I could control that, then instead of me just like, you know what I mean, flinching out of danger this way, like I could maybe flinch hard this way or flinch this way. You know? Instead of trying to push myself into a slip, it's just like I'm already like
in the movement. So let it flow and come.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you know, that's just one of many things, right, that I feel like just came natural. But seeing how my teammates did certain things that I liked that would work against me, especially the things that worked against me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why did it work against me? Because they set it up this way. You know what I mean?
And so you would learn and evolve from that?
Yeah. I feel like I'm just a collage of things that I liked from certain people.
Okay.
But I spent so many hours on the bag and shadow boxing that I know I'm not taking their exact move that worked against me, but I got to take the concept of it because I can't do it the same way they do it because their rhythm is different from mine. Their structure and build is different than mine.
Got you.
You know what I mean?
So you take the principle instead of trying to copy the move exactly.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay. I see how that helps evolve and grow. But I also want to say, like, some of the stuff you do is, and again, it's why I connect to like a guy who made his own martial art. It's like very, very unique. It's like you're out here on the balancing board, shadow boxing on the balancing board, and are like juggling as you're practicing stuff. Like these really unorthodox training methods. Where did those come from?
Those came from me just being hella bored. Hella bored.
Bro, that's not what I expected you to say at all.
Like, for real though. Because I used to leave for the gym, like after I quit my job and I was teaching at the gym, teaching privates, I would leave for the gym at 4:30 in the morning, just to beat the traffic. You know what I mean? Because it was 45 minutes away. And I had training in the morning and I had the training at night. Mandatory training with the team. So it would make no point with me driving 45 minutes away and paying toll.
To go back home.
Yeah, to go back home. So I'd be there all day.
Got you.
And I would just be training so much to where it was just like, man, I'm here for hours. You know what I mean? So like damn near 8 hours, 9 hours, you know, straight.
That's a long time to be
Yeah,
in the
I go in my car, take a nap, come back in the gym, start hitting the bag. It's like, man, I've done everything 10 times already.
And at a certain point, your body can't handle that much high output for that long, I feel like. It's not...
Even there are times where I was training all day, but my output was just at like a 1 or a 2. 2 gear. You know what I mean? I'm just
you
working
can't hold
on...
8... You can't go to like 5th gear for 8 hours. You're going, it's not a thing.
So a lot of it was me just working on my kick form, working on my punches, trying to put my punches with my kicks together, just trying to understand my body. And I did it until like my eyes were rolling back sometimes. There was literally times where I'm hitting the bag, I'm in the gym so long, I'm hitting the bag, and I'll just lay down under the bag, fall asleep. Yeah, for like 45 minutes, wake up, and like, everyone knew that I was there all day, so it was just, you know what I mean?
People just like...
It was normal to see me taking a nap underneath the bag. I'll wake up, right back to the bag. It's like, I ain't got nothing else to do, you know? But yeah, it was just like, man, let me stand on this balance board while let me, you know, juggle or whatnot. But I think that all started because me and Kev used to he would stand on a foam roller, and I would stand on a bubble with one leg, and we would toss tennis balls back to each other, off the wall to each other, just stuff like that, switch. And then when he wasn't around, I was just doing it by myself, you know. It's like, man, let me just hit the bag with this, let me juggle with this, let me...
So it was more like just playing around in the beginning.
Yeah.
Interesting. Because from an outside perspective, looking in at what you're doing, and then looking at your style, one thing I've always really appreciated about how you do, I called it your system, like again, like it's not Muay Thai, it's Eddie Fu, is you flow your body weight into everything in such a, and again, this is why I say it reminds me of Kung Fu. It's much more fluid and unique than what you see in most Thai fighters. They all move their body weight, and like that's normal, right?
Yeah.
But you do everything in such a flowing, consistent chain of movement that doesn't have the same jerk feel that you get in most Muay Thai. Yeah. And so when I see you doing all these different balancing drills and these, and again, these hand-eye coordination drills, and I see you start slipping people and throwing up, like in my head, I'm thinking this guy's a mad genius. Like he woke up with inspiration from the gods out here to make some, and you're like, I was bored. Like, that's wild. That's actually wild that you say it like that.
Well, again, like with questions, and we're looking for this, you know, this diamond of an answer, not realizing it was just you know.
So I really was expecting some deep. I opened the Chinese manuscript I found in a bookstore.
But that was it. I was bored, right? And then, but yeah, I feel like it was just everything just helped me see things a lot clearer.
Okay.
You know, my hand-eye coordination did get clearer. My balance felt like when I get off the balance board or the walking on the foam roller for like 20 minutes, I feel like my feet are rooted to the ground every time I step. You know, and it's just if they're rooted to the ground when I step, I know where to shift my weight. I'm just used to catching my balance. You know what I mean? It's just it becomes more fun because the sword is sharper when I'm playing with it. You know.
I got it's like sharpening the sword of these little games.
Yeah.
Wait, you get into schools, like I said, one of the things about you too is just like your balance control is insane. I've done some drills with you, and I felt how stupidly controlled you are in the moments where I'll say you've let me catch a kick, and you're just like, nah, and you're just like, you'll look and be like, come, sweep, and I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to sweep you, like I already know.
You never know until you try.
I mean, I've gotten lucky maybe one time ever, but no, it's like it's amazing how you've like been able to put this stuff together and kind of create this genuine Eddie style of what it is. Mm-hmm. And again, I do think you need to get that book out there and whatnot. Yeah.
I'm just having fun, man.
Just chilling, enjoying it.
I love sparring. I love sparring days.
Okay.
I get so excited for sparring.
Just want to try some stuff on people.
And when it's over, I'm like, damn, man, like I keep going, you know.
I know that feeling. That feeling I fully understand. Yeah.
Well, lately I feel like it hasn't been me trying new stuff. It's been me trying to continue on the discipline of what I'm doing, regardless of who I'm going with.
Okay.
I'm not necessarily trying new stuff because what I've figured out is people are trying their new stuff on me.
On you, yes.
You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I'm just around that everyone's trying their new stuff on.
No, it's true. It's real. Because everybody at the gym, because it's funny, bro. Nobody here is expecting to beat you. And funnily enough, the ego drop of that allows you to try stuff without being worried about looking stupid. It's like I'm out here, like, I'm depending on who I'm with. Like, I don't want to look, like, I want to make sure, like, even though it's not a competition, I don't want to do something stupid. I'm with Eddie, it's like, whatever. If I get swept, I get swept. You know, it is what it is, right? So I'm like, let me see how this is going to work. Let me try this out. Let's see if can I get him with this? That's exactly how I approach sparring you most of the time.
That's hella funny. And I just sit here and try to shut everyone down. And a lot of times the dope things that happen in the round that I may do wasn't necessarily something that I did. It was something that the person in front of me overcommitted on or something. And I just happened to be in the right place at the right time.
Like when you landed that elbow two Saturdays ago, I really thought I was about something, bro. I was like, I'm going to hit him with this. Oh, I set the cross up. I'm going to come in here smooth with it. I'm going to hit the cross on the body shot. And I go in, and you just so gently touched me with your, I was like, mother. I was so mad, bro. Because I really thought I had set it up perfectly. I was like, oh, damn, I died. It was like so bad. It was hella light. Which is like, thank you, but also just disrespectful, the amount of control you had when you did it. Like, because one thing I often say as a joke when I'm sparring, like, you are one of the real high-level guys, is like, do me a favor. If you beat me, make it look difficult. Like, you just pretend like you struggled a little bit when you did it. Like, don't make it look so damn easy, bro.
My face a little bit.
It's like, if you're going to sweep me, at least breathe out hard when you do it. Like at least... Pretend like you put effort on it, bro. Oh man. No, it's that is exactly how people are kind of approaching you right now. So you're just like trying to zone in on your own stuff.
Yeah, try to make sure my hands are up, I'm on balance. Those are the main things. My hands are up, I'm on balance, and I'm in rhythm. That's it.
Okay. Well, how do you continue to push yourself in sparring? Because when you reach a certain point, right? Especially the point you're at, even at the highest level Muay Thai fighters in the country, you are at the top of that top. if not the top of that, right? So you're in one of those weird positions where it's not like you can like just go to a gym where there's a bunch of guys better than you, like which I could still do.
Yeah.
You can't really do that. You know what I mean? Like you stuck, brother. Like you gonna be that dude no matter where you walk in. You can walk in with a bunch of UFC fighters, and unless you're taking takedowns into account, you still gonna piece up most people on the feet. You know, like we've had you guys come here who are very high, and you're still that dude. How do you approach, and I ask this for people who are at a gym where they may be toward the top echelon, how do you like focus on your growth within those sparring sessions? So you say you're still loving it.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's easy to love it when you're messing everybody up.
I do, yeah. that part makes it easy. But you water your grass. You water your grass, right? Instead of me, like it does help. Every little thing does help. Everything has its pros and its cons. Like, I can go here. We got this person, not 3 hours this way.
Yeah.
We got this person, you know, because there are people around. But you water your grass, you know. It's like, man, if I can, I'm not trying to gatekeep nothing. Whenever anyone asks me a question or whenever I'm teaching, like I'm pouring it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm pouring it if I can. I'm pouring it on. I try to make one thing I try to do amongst many is wherever I have holes, you know, I'll have people work on
attacking those holes.
Yeah, you know, stuff like that.
Okay.
Whether it's a hole or an idea, a concept, you know what I mean? Like, attack after you get attacked. Don't just shy away type, you know? Just to be simple. Be last, you know what I mean? Something like that.
Okay.
Something like that. Making sure, what that does for me is if everyone is thinking be last, and this is just one of many examples, is that it helps me make sure my defense is ready after I throw something. You know what I mean?
Got you.
Just something like that. Something as simple as that. And as everyone starts to get better, and this is something that I've seen and almost fell victim to and stuff like that. If you're someone who maybe, let's say, near the top or, you know, at the top of your gym or whatnot, as far as training goes, skill, training part, whatever, is when your teammates and, you know, the people that you're watering start to touch you, you got to check your ego. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes.
You got to check your ego.
Yes.
And not be like, this mother, like, keep that. You know what I mean? Keep that for that point, we can start doing this with each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like,
don't blast them down.
You just got to make sure that, okay, if you get caught with something, shouldn't have got caught with that.
Yeah.
That plain and simple.
Yeah.
You know, whenever me and B, my wife for context, are talking to each other, you know what I mean? So-and-so hit me with this or so-and-so hit me with that.
Yeah.
Expecting like, you know, it's like, shouldn't have got caught.
Yeah.
Why you getting caught with that? You know?
Yeah.
So it's just like water your grass and do your best to teach the people who are coming up under you. You know what I mean?
I will say you've grown. Again, if I start talking about how you've grown great fighters out of this gym, it's going to sound like I'm rubbing my own ego all of a sudden. I train here, but I have seen you have a lot of really great guys. You've surrounded yourself with a really solid team. Like I said, it's not your fault. You're the best guy in the building. No, I'm kidding. It's true. You're surrounded by a lot of really other high level guys. We have a lot of Bellator guys coming in. Mm-hmm. Ex-UFC fighters in here. A lot of guys coming up. Aaron, just now, you know, his injury held him back, but I'm seeing him coming through, and I know that's like one of your main road dogs. I'm hoping to interview him soon as well.
Yeah.
Another guy who I think is going to be a really interesting interview for those who are watching. Put that plug in there for the next one. But yeah, I mean, you are building a really solid team and it's also just because I see your style within a lot of people here, and you look at different gyms, they all have something different.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I noticed with us is, especially on the people on the higher level, D-Lo does a lot. D-Lo is like, he's one of the fighters. So he's like a you and Aaron baby. Because like everything he does, that's how I look at him, bro. But I see the way people start like using your the way you flow. I've started really kind of taking that, and that was something that I used a lot. For those who don't know, I recently went and trained and fought in Japan a little bit. And one of the things that helped me, especially as I got my feet under me over there, was using your rhythm control and the slap to like try and catch angles a little bit. And the way in which we move to take angles is, and the way you do it is very different from the most Muay Thai. And I see a lot of people in here trying to take that, which again is like a very Eddie thing. So you have a gym, like you can kind of see, again, because your style is so you, where you have touched the fighting IQ of the people, because it's very much like seeing a move that like comes from you. It's like, that was some Eddie shit. Like it's very obvious. It's very, very obvious because it's so unique.
That's good though. That's good, man. Like that just means that whenever I do teach something, it's getting through to people. You know what I mean? They're actually working on it. And then it's just like, I would expect nothing less. If you see the opportunity, if you can start to see the opportunity and then like take advantage of it, then fuck yeah. You know what I mean?
I like it. All right, so we've gone over this. You ended up. Let's run through your credentials right here, just so those know. And then I'm gonna move to something else. You went out, won the WBC, like the first WBC North American.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got that title. And then you went over into one. It's fought a lot of great guys. You can look it up later, okay? We're trying to get your YouTube page, your Wikipedia page ain't published yet. They're still being difficult, but we're working on it. We're working on it right now. But yeah, you've done a lot of great stuff. And everyone kind of knows, like we've already gone over your fight career. Let's talk about now. We know you love music. Is that still a part of your life now in any way, shape, or form? Or are you just vibing to the music? Or like, what do you do for fun? What do you do to relax, to chill? How do you decompress from all this?
From all this? Man, I don't know. Shadowbox. I shadowbox, man. Like, and it's kind of like half shadowbox and half dancing.
I've seen,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like I'm just letting go.
Yeah.
In those moments where I just kind of like flow and I can start like shadowbox, dance, and just move how I want to move.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I just want to point out, I said, how you just decompress from everything, and I'm including fighting. You're like, fight training. That was your answer.
Man, I don't know. I like to just sit down, watch movies with B and the kids. You know what I mean? And just chill.
Yeah, you have your daughter's out here fighting now too.
Yeah.
So she's doing her thing.
Yeah.
I've heard your son. He's like, I'm like a little you. I don't know if I remember when he said that before I left. He was like, I'm like a little you, and he was all excited training. I was like, that was cute. So like your kids are coming up now.
Yeah, and it's just dope that they like it, and it's all, not all. A lot of it is because we watch, what is it, Hajime no Ippo?
Ah, yeah.
Oh my gosh,
yeah.
So then like they'll watch that shit, come to the gym, and Dad, look at the flicker jab.
Yeah.
You know, just like start naming all the punches that they learned and trying them out. Yeah, it's tight.
That's crazy because I always feel, and let me just double check again because we're over here. I always feel that for a lot of fighters, probably almost 30%, one of our biggest, like maybe more, our influence to get in here, I know me, everyone's like, what was the influence? A lot of people like Bruce Lee. I'm going to tell you, for me, it was two things. The Mighty Morphin Power Ranger movie specifically, okay? Yeah. Specifically that movie, and Dragon Ball Z got me in here. I ended up in Japan off that stuff. My whole life is around those two things.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, I went to Japan because of martial arts.
Yeah.
And so I look at it like, it's funny that you say Hajime no Ippo, which is another anime, boxing anime, is now inspiring your kids.
Yeah.
And like, those things are great, man. Do you like, Do you watch that with your kids, like the Hajime
Yeah.
no Ippo stuff?
Yep.
Yeah.
We watch it because I learned so much from it too. Not just learn, but because we went through the whole series already, but we'll keep rewatching it. Yeah. I'll just constantly be reminded of certain things. You know what I mean? It's like how they explain. The first punch he learned was the jab, basically. You know, and the way they explained it was
trees.
The tree. He had to catch the leaf. And then in the process of him learning this little things of, okay, I need to close my fist at the last second type thing to catch the next leaf. Like, these are little details. And I'm like, oh, yeah. I gotta remember that. You know what I mean?
A realistic martial art anime, reteaching you the basics.
Yeah,
That's wild. That's dope. That's some movie stuff right there.
Yeah.
I learned this technique from the anime. You landed on somebody.
Hey, me and, like, I'll be out there with the kids, and we'll take leaves off, and I'll try to throw them in the air, and they'll try to catch them.
That's dope. That's dope, man. Yeah. Okay. That's dope.
Yeah.
Okay, so relaxing, doing that. I know. I remember overhearing you guys playing some Call of Duty and whatnot, just video game type stuff on this one too.
Yeah.
Just showing. Yeah. So a lot of people, we always talk about your fight life. So I'm trying to ask a bit more on the personal side, what you do when you're relaxing. But I know so much of your life revolves around this gym.
Yeah.
So.
I just moving, man.
Yeah.
It's either moving or chilling.
Got you.
You know what I mean?
Got you.
Moving or chilling.
Okay. Yeah. Well. Yeah. Outside of that, I guess I really don't want to go into cliche questions because we've talked about this. Everybody, where do you see yourself? No, I'm kidding. like we all know he wants to be champion, guys. If you didn't know, a fighter wants to be a champion. Just okay. He wants to be champion of his division.
Yeah.
Which I do think you've shown enough promise to show that you really are a contender for the area. Losses or not, nothing was so far away from you that you couldn't win the next one.
Yeah.
So I do think that's very possible. I will say this. This might be too far in the future, but you mentioned like fighting is not the longest career path for everybody.
Yeah.
Do you know, I mean, outside of, I guess you have the gym, is there anything else you were planning to do afterwards? Since you've delved, you seem like the kind of person, from what I've heard, that like has to delve into something. You have to have like a thing that takes everything.
Yeah.
Do you know what that might be when you're done?
I feel like it would be me investing more time into my kids and what they want to do. You know what I mean?
Very respectable.
Yeah, that's probably what it would be.
Okay.
Because I know how much it means. I know the importance of it because I've felt it.
With your own dad.
Yeah, with my own dad and the support from both my dad and my mom. You know.
Gotcha.
So I can't just be selfish and just, hey, watch me.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like,
got to give back to the young ones. I understand.
Yeah. And you know, there's been so much time sacrificed in order to be where we are right now.
Yeah.
You know, that it was just like, man, I just want to be there. You know, because when I used to come to the gym, there were like days would pass where I wouldn't see my kids awake because I'd be out here by 4:30, and then I'd be home not till like 11:30, 12 o'clock.
So you just missed the whole.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So.
Because they got school and everything else going on. Mm-hmm. Got you.
But at the same time, it's like I'm sure I'll be into something creative. You know, something creative. I don't know what it is, but. You know. I
mean, because everything I view with you is like you're highly athletic and you're highly creative, and you're an undercover philosopher. That's how I view it. So it's like, if it's age whatever, it may not be an athletic endeavor. So I was wondering, like on the creative side, like I'm like, go do movies, be Bruce Lee. You know what I mean? But with the kids, that may not be the best. That may not. Who knows of the path? But but I mean, again, I really think, with the way in which you approach your martial arts and the philosophy, and even how, like, when you teach, you drop these big philosophical nuggets probably on accident. So I think that's a huge thing. And I know you're out doing seminars. That was actually the first way I met you, was through a seminar.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember at all, but I went to a seminar.
I don't remember.
It's all good. It's all good. I wasn't as pretty then. Yes, I understand. You may not have recognized. But nah, it was you and Charles Rodriguez, who was actually, I think, the first person I interviewed who was an active fighter, actually.
Yeah.
It was a long time ago.
Oh, out in Fairfield?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Rodriguez is my boy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we did that Fairfield one because I was working out there, and I was like, I'm going to go see Eddie with the smooth, like he's sweeping everybody, let me learn some stuff. You taught the little cut kick. I remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and I feel like it's you're out spreading the knowledge and everything. And again, I'm just going to push you again to rewrite that book because I think I'd buy it. I think it'd be something that I think all martial artists would want to buy because you come at things from such a different angle and idea. And a lot of what you do can be applied not just to Muay Thai, but like the way, again, us traditional, like I compete Muay Thai, but like I'm a huge traditionalist. I love the karate and all that kind of stuff. It can be applied to that stuff too. And that's one of the reasons I enjoy being here and training here is because of the way you speak and approach all the martial arts stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Probably coaching too.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because I do love coaching.
You're good at it. You're good at it.
I like getting through to people. You know what I mean? Like that's dope. If you've ever taught anyone anything and then you see it start to click.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. You know what I mean?
Has it started to click for me yet?
It started to.
Ah, okay. I'll take that.
It's starting to start to. Like
Okay.
when you got back, you seemed a lot more composed. Your eyes were more open. I don't know what it was Saturday. Like you were flinching a little bit more than when you first got here.
Yeah.
But
I know it's fair. I was a little off Saturday. That's true.
But I remember when you first came back, you was like composed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It wasn't so. Your eyes were open and strong.
No, I feel like one of the beauties of when I went to Japan is just the amount of fights I was able to do. Like I've said, I don't want to. This isn't about me, so I don't want to go deep into it. But like I said, I had a huge fight mental block, and so just getting a bunch of fights of people of all skill levels, even the guys who weren't good, but they just bum rushed me.
Yeah.
That was actually the best for me because that's where my issues were, and I was able. It gave me time to overcome it.
Yeah.
And overcome it in a new place. And so it helped me a lot. And so I'm hoping to continue moving forward along that journey for myself.
Yeah.
And get to where I need, because I see guys who I came up, who I like knew from a long time ago, that everyone's out here killing it and doing their thing. So I definitely don't want to, I want to keep up and be working hard as well. So
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Everyone's getting it, man.
Yeah, it's wild. Everybody's going.
It is dope. Because after classes, after sparring, everyone's still training.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's dope, man.
Yeah.
It's dope.
Sparring is over and you have people over here kicking 50-50s on the bag and hitting drills. I'm like, damn. Everybody out here crazy about it. Like, they chill. It's over. But everybody's, and it's like,
I love it.
I got to get up and do something too now. Which is kind of like the importance of the vibe. Like, when you have people pushing, you can't be the person not doing it.
Yeah.
Which is,
And there is that, oh, hell no, I ain't gonna let that person outwork me.
Yeah. Man, yeah. I mean, we've been on here a while now. I feel like we covered a lot of the basics. I'm sure if any of you guys have any questions for Eddie, you want to, anything we didn't really go over. I mean, personally, I'm out here still curious about what kind of music he was putting out. I wish MySpace, like, where's that at? That's what I want to listen to. But
it was like hip hop and R&B.
Hey, it's again with the flow, because you be playing the smooth jams during class. You be out here with this,
Yeah.
If any of you guys have any questions or anything, put it in the comments. I'll reach out to him, see if maybe he'll respond. You have a YouTube too now, right?
I believe so.
Really? Yeah. Okay.
I gotta talk to my manager, man. I don't know how it's looking right now.
All right. Well, if anything, he has an Instagram for sure.
Yeah, Instagram.
Yeah.
We're starting our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So
follow him on Instagram. He'll hopefully be fighting soon. We don't know when, but do you know when?
No, not yet.
Not yet. So just keep up with them. Exciting fights. And again, thank you all for watching. Please, is there anything else you want to cover before I shut this out?
No, it was good. It
was good?
Good conversation.
Right.
It was fun.
So please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. We'll be doing more interviews like this with guys like Eddie. It's not many guys like Eddie out there, but we'll try our best. And also, right now my YouTube is kind of consolidated, so we also do like martial art techniques and all things martial art history lessons, everything. So I'm sure there's something on the channel that you'll be interested in, and this will be a podcast for us. So thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.
Peace.
All right.